Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Jester Ranks Off. This is another tier maker video and inspired by the recent events of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I am having to obsessively tell people why they're bad with Mario Kart items and why you should feel bad if you get any of these items. So, we have them all the classics. I haven't seen some of these before because, you know, I'm not bad at the game, so I don't end up having these items. So I can only assume that if you get them, you're bad. This is going to be ranked on the understanding that if you get this item, this is what kind of player you are. Does that make sense? I hope it does. You'll understand as I describe what kind of terrible people get these items. Anyway, let's get on with it, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, starting off with the banana skin. I was going to say banana, but technically it's just the skin, right? They haven't got the mush inside. That'd be, although it is standing up, right? There might still be a banana in there. Anyway, nutritional value aside, banana is an interesting little item because, like most people, if you're good at the game, you're in front. You don't need to worry about what's going on behind you. You just need to concentrate on the race. But you do have to worry about what's behind you. People can throw green shells, red shells, pink shells. I don't think they exist, but they could, you know, theoretically. Anyway, what you do with a banana is you hold it behind you the entire time. It's a lovely, wonderful little shield item. It keeps you safe. It keeps you protected. It's got a smiley face. It's comforting. I find that very cool. The cut. Listen, I'm not here to tell you that you should respect curves, but those are very respectable curves. I'm going to give the banana straight away into the A tier. If you get the squid, the ghosty squiddy majig, I feel like you can only be a bad player, because what kind of good player would need to blind other competitors in order to gain positions? I don't think that's very good. I think that's very poor gamesmanship, very poor gameplay. I don't believe that anyone who has ever used the squid is good at the game. If you've ended up with it, it means you're at the back. So the squid is absolutely an E tier item. If you end up with it, you're an E tier player. It's as simple as that. This is how we're doing it. You understand now? You understand what's going on here? If you end up with these items, this is where you are as a tier of player. There we go. We've figured it out. Ba-bomb. Ba-bomb is a great little item. Again, great for shielding. But the problem is, if it gets hit while you're holding it, you also go boom, making it not as good as banana. It can, however, be thrown forwards and backwards to great effect. I find bananas quite hard to aim, whereas the bomb is like, you know, just yeet it backwards on a tight corner or on a tight bit of straight, and you're going to get somebody who's catching you up. I think that's quite powerful. I think that's very good. But again, bit dangerous to work with, so I'm going to give that a B tier. Again, boomerang, it's like you've got to aim it, and it's a multiple use item, which is pretty good. If you know, most people are just spam it like mad. Again, I don't get very often because I'm not in the back six of players. But it's an interesting little item. I feel like it's a bit more skill-based than just, like, you know, a red shell. If you get a red shell, you're like, you know, oh, cool, you got a homing missile. Like, you know, how am I supposed to avoid this? Using shields, using, you know, some smart moves. Whatever. The point is, boomerang, it's aimable, but you're not getting it unless you're a not great player, so we're going to pop that into C. Next up, we have Boo. Boo literally just goes and steals someone else's item. E. Bullet Bill. Again, this is your, I'm doing so badly that I need the game to drive for me at full speed, and also while knocking out other players. It's a even worse version of a blue shell in a lot of ways. If you're getting this, you are an E tier player. All day. All day. Fire Majig, again, similar to the boomerang, where, you know, you've got to aim to fire it, but you can literally go, send it out like an Uzi. Like, you can just send out a million flames and hope somebody gets hit. Again, I don't end up with this item very often, but it's an interesting one. Again, if it requires aim, I think it's definitely a C. Coin. Now, I know what you're thinking. Liam, the coin does nothing. That's where you're wrong. If you get a coin, generally, you're in first or second place. That means you are a good player. Not only are you not feeling the need to dehabilitate other players, you are actually improving yourself. As you know in Mario Kart, coins equal speed. The more coins you have, the faster your top speed is. So not only are you not detracting from your competitors, you're also improving yourself, making coin an S tier item. The 8. If I remember right, the 8 gives you, I think, mostly everything, if not everything. So, bad players are getting that. That's E. Now, I've just realised my mistake. That feather isn't the fire thing. The fire thing is the fire thing. So the fire thing, all I said about the feather, ignore that. That applies to the fire thing. What is the feather? The feather is an item that made its first appearance in the first Mario Kart game, Super Mario Kart. After a 25-year absence, what did it do? Go out and get cigarettes? It made a surprising reappearance in Mario Kart 8's Deluxe Improved Battle Mode. The item gives the user a small boost into the air while allowing them to take advantage of various shortcuts. So basically, you only get that if you're doing badly. It's a party game item, so I'm not really going to rank that properly. It's not really one that I'm familiar with. I don't play party games. I don't have friends. The Golden Mushroom. That is a not unlimited boost, but you can keep spamming it to get more of a boost. Boost items are generally for people who can't keep up with the rest of the crowd. They're not as bad. You know, it's not an auto thing like a Bullet Bill. It's not stealing like the Boo. But it isn't for good players, let's be honest. I'm going to have to throw that up into the D tier. 3 green shells. 3 green shells is a fun little item because not only is it like a protective shield that goes around and around and around, you can also like roll into people and hit people with them. I enjoy it as an item. It's not quite as good as just base green shell for like arse protection, but it's still alright. I'm going to give that a B. I'm going to give that a B. Speaking of the green shell itself, I know what you're thinking. Oh, only 1, Jester? Like, that's not better than 3. In this situation, it is. Like, a triple, you might be able to, like, deflect 1 bullet, but more often than not, people who are good are going to be able to slip in between your defenses and take you out anyway. You're going to lose all 3 of them and put them on the ground if you get electrified. So, the base green shell, again, it requires aim, so, you know, you need to be skillful with it. The other benefit of it is, again, you can hold it behind you with no penalties to defend yourself from red shells, etc. It's same as banana, really. It's an A tier item. The lightning bolt, that is, if I remember right, the thing that shrinks everybody. Again, if it negatively affects all of your opponents, and then you can just crack on as is, it's a bad item. It's a bad item. Because you're relying on the game to fix the problem for you. Now, again, some of you might be going, Liam, the point of Mario Kart is, you know, the items. It's not just a pure racing game. I know that. But if I'm in first, I shouldn't have to worry about bad players getting advantages. That's not how video games should work. If I'm good, I should be good and fine and protected from all the noobs. So, for me, E tier. The simple, humble boost. Again, if you're getting this, you're probably not really doing all that well. It can be used for shortcuts, which in a lot of ways I don't find something worth respecting, but at the same time, for Swamp Ruins, I reliably take that little shortcut every time. You know, it's a boost. If you can pick one of these up off the floor and grab a boost yourself, you know, I'm not immune to the fact that they exist. You know, a truly skilled player would, you know, just avoid them and go, I don't need these. They weren't gifted to me. The noobs got them. But I'll hit one all the time. I'm going to give that a solid B. B for boost. Very powerful. Piranha Plant. I think you're getting this in the midfield. It snaps up any items that go past. It snaps up any coins as you go past. It snaps up players as you go past. While it's an auto get this, get that, you do still have to be able to drive well to be able to use it well, if that makes sense. Like, you're not going to gain any places just from having a Piranha Plant. You need to be able to catch up. You need to be able to, like, stop the other players. So it's not as bad as some of the, you know, E tier items. I think it's a solid C. There's still a little bit of skill involved, but at the end of the day, it's a bit of a freebie if you get within range. And people can fall into range, and that's depressing. Red Shell, I've mentioned this before, you can hold it behind you, which is nice. It's protection. It's great. If, you know, a Toadette, for example, screwed you at the end of a lap, you can send this at them to stop them on the finish line, then overtake them and get the victory. Very powerful. I'm not immune to a good homing missile, but because it's a homing missile, and you don't need skill to use it, it kind of knocks some points down. But, again, it's an item you can throw behind you as well. Keep yourself protected. So, you know, protection kind of outweighs the negatives in a lot of ways. I do enjoy an item you can hold behind you to keep you safe. That is your banana skins. That's your green shells. That's your red shells. Red shells are B tier item, I think. The homing does take away a little bit, but it doesn't make it absolutely terrible. Blue shell. What's there to say? If you're getting a blue shell, and you're sending out a blue shell, not only are you probably at the back, but you're also saying, hey, that person who's earned first place, that person who's just been driving perfect laps, not a problem, boosting perfectly, nailing it, nailing the track. Fuck them. They can go die. Sending the blue shell in just to destroy someone who is doing better than you is probably the lowest tier move of anybody possible. I can't go lower than E tier, but let it be known, if there was a lower tier, that's where the blue shell would be. The star. Again, if you get in this, you're somewhere near the back. You still have to drive well to use it. You can't just like wall grind once you get it. You do get a bit of a boost off it. I think if you hit other players, it does some damage or something to them as well. I can't remember. Again, I don't end up with this item because I'm good at the game. It's a boost, but it still requires you to drive a little bit, so I am going to put that in the D tier. The soundbox. The soundbox is maybe the only item, correct me if I'm wrong, that can stop the blue shell, which means it's the polar opposite of the blue shell, which means it's an S tier item. But it is a brilliant item. I don't end up with it very often, but if I do end up with it, boy howdy am I holding on to it for dear life for a blue shell, because, oh god, people are just, whew, the blue shell, man. If the blue shell was a person, free banana skins. Similar story really to the green shells, where it's not as good as the singular item because you can't just use it behind you. It doesn't really offer as much protection, in my opinion, as a normal banana. It does in a way, but also doesn't. Like, you can still send a green shell through the defenses. They're fun to throw about. Don't get me wrong, 3 bananas in a row, if you can angle them right. It's like, oh shit, I avoided that one, then you hit that one. That's funny, hilarious. It's 3 smiley banana skins at the end of the day. I think they deserve B tier as well. If I'm applying the green shell situation, then yeah, that's exactly how it should be. 3 boosts is the same as 1 boost, but you're even worse than before. And by similar logic, 3 red shells. If you're doing this and you have to send out 3 red shells to stop people, then can you call yourself any better than a C tier player? In fact, I may even argue you're a D tier player if you're getting 3 red shells. I know we've been going like step with like one item versus multiple, but like 3 red shells, dude. You really having to interrupt 3 players' games to try and gain some places in Mario Kart? Are you okay? What's going on? So here we go, the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Items tier list. Not only is this ranking the item and how you would have to use it, it's also ranking you as a player if you end up getting this as a majority item. Let it be known, if you get this, you are an E tier player. The Ghost, Squid, Thing, Boo, Bullet Bill, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Multiple Thing, Lightning, and Blue Shell. D tier players are getting Golden Mushroom, the Star, and the Triple Red Shells. C tier players are getting the Boomerang, the Fire Flower, the Feather technically, but we're ignoring that, the Piranha Plant, and the Triple Boost. B tier players are getting bombs, 3 green shells, 1 mushroom, 1 red shell, and 3 bananas. A tier players are getting a single banana or a single green shell. And the S tier players are getting coins and soundboxes. Ladies and gentlemen, if you disagree with anything you see here, you're wrong, but that's okay. You can make your own tier list using the link below. If you enjoyed today's video, please drop a like and a sub if you could, and that would be fantastic. If you want to check out the social media, all the links are in the description below. And hey, hope you enjoyed this, and I shall see you in the next one. See ya!